The poison gas drill began. Human cadet asked if anyone brought. Beginning. The academy bell tolled 3 times, echoing down the steel-lined corridors of Orion Military Institute. Every cadet in the barracks stiffened, for 3 tolls meant only one thing: an emergency drill. Cassian Holt, the only human in Alpha Cohort, sat up from his bunk with a groan. His roommates, chitin-skinned Crothians, long-necked Valorians, and mist-bodied Zephyrite, reacted with instinctive precision. Helmets clicked, respirators hissed, and canisters of neutralizing gel were unhooked from polished racks. Cassian, meanwhile, blinked and asked a question that made the entire squad freeze. Did anyone bring snacks? Several heads turned in disbelief. One Valerian blinked its triple eyelids slowly, interpreting the human's tone as serious. A Crothian flexed its mandibles, unsure if this was mockery. This is poison gas drill human. Hystrix, the insectoid squad leader. You speak of snacks? Cassian raised his hands innocently. Look, back on Earth, drills were boring. We brought chips, sometimes chocolate bars. Helps morale. The Zephyrite, little more than a floating cloud condensed into a humanoid outline, laughed like wind chimes. He does not understand the seriousness. The alarm klaxons blared louder, cutting the conversation short. Red lights strobed along the corridor. A mechanical voice announced. Atmosphere breach simulated. Toxic compounds released. Containment failure. Cadets proceed to stations. The squad filed into the corridor, each carrying a gleaming filtration mask. Cassian fumbled with his gear, the straps catching on his short brown hair. He was already lagging behind. As they jogged toward the simulation chamber, Drix muttered, Human cadet will be liability. Cassian only smiled, though he felt his stomach sink. He had begged Earth's recruitment office for a chance at interspecies training. Now, surrounded by beings who had evolved on worlds teeming with lethal air, corrosive mist, and predatory spores, he realized just how out of place he was. Still, part of him wondered, how bad could a gas drill really be? Middle. The chamber doors sealed behind them with a metallic clang. Transparent walls revealed armored observers outside, their clipboards glowing with holographic data feeds. A synthetic voice counted down. 3, 2, 1. Green vapor hissed from vents. It poured in like a tidal wave, rolling low across the floor before rising into coils of shimmering haze. The poisonous fog simulation wasn't harmless. It contained paralytic compounds, diluted but strong enough to cause unconsciousness if inhaled without a mask. Cassian quickly clamped his respirator on, only to feel air still seeping in. The strap wasn't sealed. He tugged, but the buckle jammed. His chest tightened as a sweet, metallic tang of the gas hit his lungs. Panic clawed at him. He staggered back, coughing. The others noticed. Drix cursed in his native tongue and barked orders. 2 cadets grabbed emergency foam and sprayed Cassian with protective coating, creating a temporary barrier on his exposed skin. Another tossed him a spare mask. Sealed properly, human. Drix shouted, mandibles snapping. Cassian fumbled, but this time managed to lock the mask into place. His ragged breath steadied, though shame burned hotter than the gas in his lungs. Outside the chamber, instructors scribbled notes. Humans, they would report, lacked instinct for survival in hostile atmospheres. But the drill wasn't over. From a far wall, robotic drones unfolded, spidery machines with needle-like appendages. Their purpose, to simulate chaos. They leapt through the haze, targeting the cadets' filtration units. One slash could rupture a mask. The squad fell into formation. Drix snapped his claws in code, and the others reacted smoothly, except Cassian, who hesitated. A drone pounced on him. Its needle jabbed his mask, scraping dangerously close to puncturing the filter. Cassian ducked, rolling across the slippery floor. He grabbed a loose pipe from the ground and swung with desperation. The blow crushed the drone's head, sparks flying. For a heartbeat, silence reigned. The squad stared. Humans were not known for strength compared to Crothians or agility compared to Zephyrite. But Cassian had raw reflexes and reckless improvisation. Drix tilted his head. Perhaps not complete liability. Encouraged, Cassian joined their formation, this time moving in rhythm. The squad advanced through the fog, disabling drones one by one. But then, something went wrong. The chamber doors shuddered. The lights flickered from red to dark purple. The automated voice crackled, distorted. Drill compromised. Containment breach spreading. At first, the cadets assumed this was part of the test. But when the observation windows frosted over and alarms in the outer corridors began to howl, realization struck. This was no longer a simulation. Someone or something had released a real bioweapon into the Academy systems. Rising tension. Panic rippled through the cadets. The poisonous vapor thickened, eating at their protective foam. Their masks strained under pressure, filters clogging. Cashin's chest ached again. He pressed his hand against his respirator, but no fresh air came through. Filters overloading, reported the Valerian cadet in a deep, resonant voice. 10 minutes, maybe less. Drix clicked furiously. This chamber must be evacuated. The problem, the only door out was sealed. The observation windows now showed empty corridors. No instructors, no staff, only swirling mist. Where did everyone go? Cashin whispered. The Zephyrite's form pulsed uneasily. Perhaps fled. Perhaps dead. That thought silenced everyone. Then the drones reactivated. Only this time, their optics glowed blood red, and instead of simulation needles, their appendages dripped with real venom. This wasn't a test. This was sabotage. The squad fell into desperate combat. One cadet's mask cracked under a drone strike, and the cadet collapsed, convulsing as poison flooded his lungs. Drix slashed apart the attacker, but they were already down one member. Cashin fought with the pipe again, sweat stinging his eyes. Each breath came ragged, each strike wild. He wasn't graceful, but he was unpredictable, something the drones didn't anticipate. They carved a path to the door. The Valerian hacked the control panel, long fingers dancing across alien circuitry. Sparks flew, gears ground, and with a groan, the heavy door unlocked. They staggered into the corridor beyond, only to find the entire academy shrouded in the same poison haze. Fallen cadets lay motionless on the floor. What the hell happened? Cashin gasped. Drix's mandibles clicked grimly. Enemy infiltration. Someone wishes to purge Academy. But why start with us? The Zephyrite drifted close. Because Alpha Cohort holds representatives from every Alliance world. Destroy us, and trust between our species fractures. Cashin swallowed hard. This wasn't about drills anymore. This was about war. Climax. The squad pushed deeper into the Academy. Alarms blaring, drones ambushing them from a mist. Their numbers dwindled. Each turn of the corridor revealed more bodies, friends, rivals, mentors. Eventually, they reached the central filtration hub, a massive chamber of humming machinery. Toxic vapor spewed from ruptured pipes, feeding the spreading contamination. At the core stood a towering figure, neither cadet nor instructor, a saboteur. The being's armor was blackened steel, its mask insectal, tubes pumping green gas into the vents. It turned as the cadets entered, voice metallic. You should not have survived the drill. No matter. You will die here, and each world will blame the other. Cashin's heart pounded. The saboteur moved with terrifying precision, blades snapping from its gauntlets. The squad engaged. Drix lunged first, mandibles clashing against the armored foe. Sparks flew as blade met claw. The Valerian struck from the side, only to be hurled across the chamber. The Zephyrite tried to suffocate the saboteur with its gaseous form, but the armor emitted pulses of energy that scattered it apart. One by one, Cashin's squad mates fell back. It came down to him. He had no claws, no blades, no misform. Only his hands, his instincts, and that pipe. As the saboteur advanced, Cashin spotted the tubes feeding into its armor. Green gas pumped directly into its filters, keeping it immune. If he could sever those. He dodged a slash, rolled under a spinning blade, and leapt onto the saboteur's back. The armor shook violently, trying to throw him off. Cashin jammed the pipe into the tubing and twisted hard. A hiss, a shriek. The saboteur's mask cracked, releasing a torrent of gas back into its face. It staggered, clawing at its helmet. Drix saw the opening and drove his mandibles into the foe's chest. The armor split. The saboteur collapsed, writhing, before falling still. The gas flow lessened. The machinery's alarms dimmed. Slowly, the haze began to clear as emergency vents activated. Cashin slid to the floor, lungs burning, arms trembling. He had done it. Ending. Hours later, emergency crews in sealed suits combed through the ruined academy. Survivors were few. Of Alpha Cohort, only 4 remained. The instructors bowed their heads as reports came in. The sabotage was traced to a splinter faction opposed to the interspecies alliance. Their goal had been simple: sow distrust by turning a drill into a massacre. But they had underestimated one thing: a human with a pipe. Cashin sat on the steps outside the infirmary, bandages across his arms, respirator resting beside him. Drix approached, mandibles twitching thoughtfully. You asked of snacks. Cashin blinked, then chuckled weakly. Yeah, guess I was hungry. Drix extended a claw. Not a weapon this time, but an offering. On it rested a ration cube, nutrient-dense, foul-tasting, but food nonetheless. For morale, Drick said, Cashin accepted with a grin. Thanks. You know, maybe humans aren't such liabilities after all. The squad sat together, silent but united. Their numbers were broken, their academy scarred. Yet something new had formed in the ashes. Trust. The poison gas drill had begun as a test of survival. It ended as a forging of comradeship across species lines. And though Cashin still wished someone had brought actual snacks, he knew one thing for certain. This was only the beginning of a story among the stars.